So we're not. No, you have a seat.
Are you getting us?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna.
So who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm Hal Howard, and I lead the Dynamics team here in Redmond.
Dynamics. What is that?
What is that?
I'm not in Fargo right now.
You're not in Fargo, huh? So Dynamics is our business application suite. So that's the products Microsoft's doing for business solutions.
Ah, okay. Business. So you're the MBS,
yeah.
MBS. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I met
one
somebody.
of the 7 P&Ls at Microsoft. Yeah.
Well,
one of those.
One of those. And when I was over in Cambridge or Copenhagen, sorry.
Yeah.
I met part of your team, right?
Right.
And so tell me about your team. Tell me about what you guys do.
So we do development in 3 major locations right now, here in Redmond, and Fargo, which you mentioned a minute ago, and Copenhagen, which you already mentioned. So
yeah.
Fargo and Copenhagen were both sites that came in through acquisition. One from Great Plains was obviously headquartered in Fargo, and then the Vision Corp was headquartered in Copenhagen.
When we were walking up here, we were joking about how long it takes to Copenhagen. And it actually is easier to get to Copenhagen than to get to Fargo, somebody said?
Yeah, it's just about as easy to get to Copenhagen as it is to get to Fargo, because Copenhagen, there's a direct flight from Seattle, so 9 hours on the plane, you get internet access the whole way.
I know.
Perfect.
I wrote about this, the Boeing connection service. You get Wi-Fi for $30 each way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the trick is, do you have a battery on your laptop that lasts 10 hours? It's my last.
Well, if you're
AC power.
Okay, you're charging Bill for the better seats, though.
I've heard from Hal.
Actually,
Yes.
the AC power actually works in economy, flex, or in business, either one.
Yeah, well, it was a $250 upgrade for me, and it was sold out, which really pissed me off. I wanted to pay the $250.
It's too bad for us because we don't get any relief. Hal is still sending us action items for while he's on the plane. So
yeah.
Yeah, we're back in coach and he's in first class.
Yeah, but your battery only lasts 3 hours. So
flight attendants get really tired of that.
He's probably after the fight going, why aren't my guys answering?
After 3 hours, you know.
So anyway, what is it? What do you got? What is it? Give me a 1-minute pitch about why a customer on the outside cares about what you guys do.
Well, most customers run businesses that are, either have to do accounting or inventory management or professional services management or something, and they need an application that does that, right? So, like, our products are all about the applications that help you run your business, right? So, Office is the personal productivity piece. We're the business application that actually executes all the sort of systems of record and inventory management, that sort of stuff is what we do.
Right. Now, I was reading some of the press reports on this team, and it seemed like from the press reports this team has been in reorg situation or anything like that. Is that true?
I mean, like the rest of Microsoft, we've gone from 7 businesses to 3 major divisions, right? So we've got Business Solutions and Office are now under Jeff Rakes and as a single sort of business, strangely called the Business Products Division, not Office.
Yeah.
So.
And you're managing teams in 3 different locations separated by 10-hour flights.
Right.
What's that like?
Well,
that's not like running Channel 9. Channel 9 has 5 guys, and we're all in the same office. Yeah.
Right. It's interesting. I'm in the Copenhagen office because of the 9-hour time delay. There's only an hour or 2 of our day that overlaps, and a lot of meetings get scheduled at 7 and 8 a.m. In Redmond, or if we do them later in the day, then they're 7 or 8 p.m. their time. Sometimes later. At night, so it puts a little stress on the people that have to attend those meetings. And then personally, I'm actually in Copenhagen 1 week in 5, wow. Working from there and helping keep the teams together and coordinated and that sort of stuff. Fargo's a little easier because it's only a 2-hour time difference, and so there's a lot of the day that overlaps, and video conferencing, teleconferencing tends to be fairly effective in that scenario.
Yeah, but
the problem with doing any kind of video conference across things that are separated by 9 hours is that if I have to do a video conference at 10 in the evening, I'm not likely to be in the office, so it's all webcam based, right? So the high video conference stuff doesn't work in that scenario, so you have to do webcams or something like that. So.
I'm sure there are live meeting compadres are working on that problem, correct?
Yeah, one hopes.
It's a new world when we can work around the world. I mean, if you don't work at Microsoft or a big company, you don't have a sense of this. But every Microsoft office I go into is the same. My card key is the same, pretty much, and same drinks almost. They have cooler candies in Copenhagen.
Absolutely.
Do you have any of those little licorice candies?
I'm sure we could round some up here.
They have these little just to tantalize all the. They have. Glass bins of little licorice candies that they don't have.
All these guys have been, so they know.
Well, the rest of Microsoft doesn't know this.
Exactly.
If you ever get a trip to Copenhagen, go check out their kitchen. They have cool little candies. Who are you guys?
I'm Jeff Wallace. I'm a Director of Program Management for the teams here in Redmond.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Ramana Paremi. I'm from the Client and Enterprise Portal team, Program Management.
Okay.
I'm Meenakshi Sundaram. I'm a Program Manager on Enterprise Portal team.
So how many different products does your team have?
How many different products?
Or because I don't use your products, so
Okay.
I'm not running the business.
So the
I have no concept of what it is that your teams produce.
So the Dynamics product line, there are actually four ERP product lines. There's the AX product line that these guys all are working on. There's our SL, formerly Solomon, product line that's primarily oriented toward project accounting and construction type businesses. There's the former GP product, Great Plains.
And that's how we got the reason we have offices in Copenhagen and Fargo is because we acquired companies.
Because we acquired two companies, yeah. So we acquired Great Plains, who had in turn acquired Solomon. So we got two product lines as a result of that acquisition. And we acquired Navision Corporation, who had also merged with a company called Damgard, and we got two product lines as a result of that acquisition.
Yeah.
Right, and so then we have the Nav product line and Exapta or AX, and those are the four product lines that we've acquired.
How do you know you need one of your products? If you're a business on the outside, is it for small businesses? Is it for big businesses? And how do you
So
know
MBS overall, in addition to those four ERP products, has a CRM product, right? The standalone sort of customer relationship management product. That's what CRM stands for,
Yep.
right? So sales, service, all those sorts of products. And then we also have a small business accounting package that we sell in here in the U.S., right? So total, if you're truly a small business, like single bookkeeper business, then small business accounting, the Office Small Business Edition product is probably the product for you. If you're a slightly larger business that now has multiple people involved in doing your accounting, your inventory management, warehouse management, those kinds of functions, then you're probably interested in one of our other product lines. And the further you go upline, the bigger your needs are. There are different products. So in the project accounting niche or in the project-driven businesses, then the Solomon line is the primary product line here in North America. For global businesses, Exapta is the product line of choice. So if you're a global multinational, then the Exapta is the product of choice. Dynamics AX, right, as they've all been labeled now.
And what are the trends in these products? What's changing? What's different from 5 years ago to today? What are you guys working on, basically?
So what are we working on? Lots of new stuff, right? So everything from technology updates and making the products more user-friendly, easier to use, lowering cost of ownership and cost of maintenance for people in a big way. The Enterprise Portal, we just did a significant revamp to integrate that with SharePoint, so all of our web parts surface in SharePoint, and that scenario gets even better with Office 12 and the Office Server products. So we've got significant work going on there. Reporting side, all the integration with SQL reporting services and the work that's done there, so that people get end user reporting. Like one of the hardest things to do with most business products is actually get the data you want out of the product. So like being able to bring the data out onto a reporting surface that people can actually use with something like Report Builder has been a big thing. On the business function side, there's a variety of different features. Whether it's GAAP compliance and SOX is a big issue here in the U.S. IAS compliance in Europe. Better supply chain management solutions and collab solutions across your supply chains, and being able to exchange documents electronically with your supply chain is a big thing compared to 5 years ago. So XML document exchange is a big new area of development and evolution. It'll get yet again different 5 years from now than it is today.
Advances in RFID.
RFID is a big new component primarily oriented to larger businesses or suppliers of large business now, because that's a mandate here in the U.S. for like all of Walmart's suppliers now have to supply RFID information. It's radio frequency IDs. That's what RFID stands for.
Yeah.
And so that's a big shift in the market. So there's constantly new business functionality people are looking for, and there's lots of stuff to work on. Right, these solutions are evolve rapidly. Everything from keeping up to with today's changes in tax reporting to new business trends.
Yeah.
So,
Now, when I was over at Copenhagen, and this was 6 months ago, so I'm sure it's evolved since then, they were writing tons of .NET code and building really nice designers to help business people keep their businesses running, right?
right.
So tell me a little bit about what's the roadmap? What are we going to hear from your team over the next year?
So we're just now reaching code complete for the AX product line for a version called 4.0. That'll come out next June, and so there'll be lots of new product launch going on there. That release significantly enhances the portal and RFID and many of the things we were talking about there coming out in that release. That's a big release. There'll be a new version of the GP product line coming out end of next year. New version of the NAV product line coming out again end of next year. SL product line just released version 6.5, and we'll release a 7.0 toward the end of next year. So there's multiple product releases coming out and functionality that spans all the different spaces we were talking about.
Is there a website that you want customers to visit to find out about what you guys are working on?
So Microsoft.com/business solutions is where you can find out information about all of our products.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the challenges of working together. You guys have a different kind of team than most of the teams. Most of the teams I work here are centralized and are in one building or maybe two buildings.
Well, the definition of cross-group work at Microsoft is to be two teams on different floors in the same building. Right?
Yeah.
That was cross-group work, right? So our challenge is a little different in that we have people spread out across multiple time zones. I just got back last week from India, where we are starting to do work in the IDC, where we have teams there. Small team that's spinning up to do things like data management and that sort of stuff. So now we not only have teams in Denmark and teams, two locations here in the U.S., but now India as well. We're doing vendor work in China for a variety of things. We have teams in our global delivery team in Amsterdam, in Moscow, in Spain, a variety of markets. So it gets to be a challenge to keep things coordinated across that whole spectrum. But we use live meeting a lot. We're on conference calls a lot. We travel a lot, all right, compared to most groups, most R&D groups. I mean, these guys are probably a lot more air miles than 10 other people in R&D combined.
Yep.
And compared to most groups.
So remote dev centers make us a better organization. It forces us to tighten up our engineering excellence, and our processes, and just be better at execution. Right? It takes cross-group collaboration to the next step. It's really cross-group execution in our world. Collaboration is nice. Execution is better. But the other thing that the remote centers are doing for us, especially site in Copenhagen, is it's keeping us very honest in our approach to the market, because in our world, globalization and flexibility is absolutely key, and two key trends that went in the marketplace. So having a group of developers there that are very much in tune with the requirements in the EMEA space and rest of the world is key to the way we build products and the functionality we deliver, and it's making us a better organization than we'd be if we were just in the U.S.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just spoke to executives at L'Oreal last week in Paris, and they seem to have the same kinds of problems that you guys are having with working with people around the world. I mean, they're the world's largest cosmetic maker.
Make no mistake, there's a tax to pay, and we're paying that tax, but
There's also
there are
huge benefits.
Huge benefits.
And a huge benefit he was talking about, basically having people in market in these different locations who actually understand the local requirements and are driving us to to think globally, right? If you think about our problems, all the businesses we serve, L'Oreal being an example, right, is a business that has exactly the same issues, right? And so whether that's better integration to collaboration tools or better ways for their business tools to work, it's a good way to learn what your customers' needs are.
It's incredible to see. We are fortunate to have a can-do and will-do kind of team, the attitude, and don't take any shortcuts. Starting the day off early and ending it late in the night and stuff. So that works out for the overall positive spin.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Are you learning things that are going to become a product in 2 or 3 years for global businesses to use?
Absolutely. As Hal pointed out, I think there's just a lot of work for us to do. And as we work together in various locations, we learn new things and bring them into, pulling them into products is something that we're going to do release after release after release. Yeah.
Yeah. How has the technology world changed for you guys in the last 5 years? I mean, we have more broadband out there. We have more customers using computers.
Yeah, I mean,
we have better computers, and the OSs are getting more reliable and better. But how are the technology foundations affecting what you're able to do for businesses?
well, a typical, sort of mid-market business 10 years ago, right, would have had a single sort of mini computer type deployment in most cases within their environment, and no integration to any other tools. I mean, many business applications 10 years ago were green screen, right? Still, even though PCs were common in businesses and that kind of stuff. Now you see situations where businesses have PCs on every desktop. They're using Windows servers in their infrastructure. Our systems are very, have very rich GUI UIs and better, integration to those systems. Business intelligence inline is a huge difference compared to, say, an application 10 years ago. Right, and that to get the data out of a system is much easier than it was 10 years ago. To have that data right at people's fingertips. Globalization, big deal. Running one system that can span the globe. Didn't see that 10 years ago. Now it's possible to do that. So we have customers that are doing, because of network connectivity, can do central deployments for organizations that span the globe. So there's a lot of things that technology has changed in the last 10 years, and a lot of things that will change in the next 10 years.
More and more, the application is moving to the web, right? As we see more and more in the way of mobile workers, and much more effective for a traveling consultant to submit time and expenses from either their place or their job site or on the plane back. There's still a heavy requirement for more transactional-oriented jobs, accountants, payroll clerks, that kind of thing. So we still address that in better and better ways. But
how do you guys? If somebody comes in here and says XYZ competitor does this and you guys do this, what's the competitive landscape for your team?
we do it better.
Well, of course you do.
And if we don't, we will.
But do you have a philosophy or something that sets your Microsoft's products apart from the other guys? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Affordable adaptability is really what our mantra is, right? We want to deliver the robust feature set that an SAP or an Oracle does, but we want to do it in a much more effective total cost of ownership landscape. Those systems are very expensive to implement, very difficult to adapt to changing business environments. So we will deliver both. It's an and situation and not an or for us.
Yeah. When you say adaptability, it sounds like you're talking to developers, which is our core audience on Channel 9, right? What kinds of things can developers do with your system?
That's what makes MBS a very exciting place to be a developer, because frankly, this is where you have the opportunity to elegantly apply the great infrastructure and tool set that the rest of the organization builds to solving these real-world business problems. And adaptability, having the opportunity for normal somebody who's working within a business to be able to change a process, exception handling within a purchase order process, be able to do that without having to call the IT guy to restrike the business app is a huge advantage, and that's something that we're working on. It's a lot of hard work, so we need good people for that.
And integrated innovation, that is one of the key things for MBS. Every innovation that happens across other Microsoft products are going to be surfaced through MBS applications to the business users. So that is one.
Give me an example of that. Where, as a customer, if I sat down, where would I see this integrated?
Is it a better Office integration, or using Indigo or any web service infrastructure, or any workflow foundation, like any key technology that Microsoft focuses? MBS would be the first and best customer.
Now, what is it? You guys are using Indigo or workflow?
In the upcoming
what's the
products,
WCF? Workflow. Windows Communication Framework. Bill Gates screwed this up too. I'm still getting used to it. I like the single word names better than to go in Avalon. But
I noticed the camera was off when you said that.
No, but editing will take care of that. No problem, right?
we don't edit on channel.
So in the 4.0 release, like we are working on the current web services platform, but going forward, like any key improvement in the thing will be surfaced.
Right. What is web services let you guys do that wasn't possible before?
There's a number of integration scenarios that just get a lot easier. I mean, if you think about it, the only businesses that could afford to do integration with their suppliers before are ones that had heavyweight EDI systems, right? We're all proprietary binary format stuff, right? Well, many of the same services people want in a lighter weight way, and web services enable that to happen. So, like the idea of being able to exchange documents with a supplier electronically or with a customer electronically, to place orders on the web and all that sort of stuff, to integrate those systems in a very dynamic way, basically, whether it's surfacing it through a website, right, via UI, or electronically to another system, machine to machine. Web services is key to that, and so the whole integration framework that's built into our products allows that. If you need to do transformations, then we integrate with BizTalk, and you can do guaranteed delivery and transformation services through BizTalk. And so, web service is a big part of what we do.
Where do you see customers making mistakes? Or where do you see, what's the agenda for the next year? If you were talking to a guy who's running a major company and thinking of upgrading his infrastructure or buying a new package, what would you tell him?
So, I mean, essentially, business solutions in the past was a very fragmented market across the world. In fact, it still is, right? Business solutions is probably the most fragmented market in the world in terms of the number of vendors and that sort of stuff. That market is effectively, the days when everybody could do their own vertical systems integrations to the GL, AR, AP, all the different modules of an ERP system are rapidly going away, right? And the reality is what people are looking for is more vertical solutions that fit their space. So if I'm an automotive supplier, then I want a solution that's tailored to automotive suppliers. If I'm a retailer, then I want systems that help me manage my downstream distribution networks and my supply chain and that sort of stuff. So getting more and more vertical is a big part of what businesses are looking for today. And so we have a twofold strategy there, where we're building all the horizontal components, and then we have a great ISV ecosystem that's starting to build all the pieces on top. So your developer audience particularly interested in that, because there's a ton of opportunity to build those vertical solutions on top of our platform. We very much take the attitude that we are the horizontal components industry level provider, and there's going to be a great ISV out there that does the automotive niche. There's going to be a great ISV out there that does the florist niche, if there's a market for that, and those sorts of things. So there's that's effectively a big differentiator for us, because we've got competitors out there that think that they're going to do it all for everybody, and they don't take an ISV approach to the world. So,
if you were a college kid right now, where would you be investing your What would you want college kids to learn about so that they're prepared for this new business world? Where do you see the needs for IT guys at companies or?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of opportunity for people that are studying either computer science or other business disciplines. Getting some cross education and sort of business problems is a big part of it. There's being able to apply technology, right? It's the difference between mathematics and applied mathematics, right? It's great to learn the theory, but how do you get the application, right? And to actually learn some of the problem domains that people are faced with. People that have both the skills to understand the business problem and the skill to develop the solution will be much more marketable in sort of the future of software in general. So I think that's a big opportunity for folks, is to study both business problems and computer science.
I really saw that when I got a personal tour around Heineken's brewery in Cork, Ireland, where they make a Murphy's Stout, which is really good stuff. But you can tell, I've imbibed a little bit too. I got some free stuff there. But the whole factory floor was run by computers and had very little manual labor anymore. I mean, there was one guy who was basically doing quality control, making sure that the computers made the beer right, but you saw very few human beings there, except for in the IT department, who were running all the systems and trying to upgrade those and make sure
they were all in rehab.
Oh yeah, yeah. They say you got to be careful about eating too much of the product there, or drinking too much of the product there. But,
that's where dog fooding can be a little dangerous.
Yeah.
To the computers.
Yeah, and they seem to have a good time at work. So. But you certainly saw that the business has been changed. I did the same thing. I got a tour of a pistachio factory down here in California, and same thing. The guy has gone from nothing. In 15 years, he's gone to the #1 pistachio processing plant in the world, all through IT. And there's people out there who say IT doesn't matter.
I once talked to a customer that had outsourced their IT department, right? But they actually own their own gas. They were a transportation company, and they own their own gas stations. I'm trying to figure out which was more critical to their business. Was it as a transportation company, was it the gas stations that were more critical to their business, or the IT? And I think they were in the process of concluding that IT might have been more important to them than keeping the gas stations. So they were in the process of reversing that decision, and that's it's one of those things where IT is a big part of any business, right? And having the right information to make the right decisions at the right time, and whether it's factory floor automation, like the examples you're talking about, or it's having the right information at the right time and stopping pushing paper, right? I mean, the big difference between the way a business system is designed today and the way it might have been designed 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, they were designed to be the system of record after somebody had done the entire business process on paper. Right, so I'd done my 3-part form for a sales order, and I sent it off to the accounting department to be entered into the system. Well, now the salesperson has a laptop or a tablet or something right with them, and they're interacting with the business system, business process support, whether it's availability to promise, for lead times, or it's just the process of actually integrating the catalog online so that the business person has their product catalog right on their laptop. Is a big deal, right? Systems are designed way different today than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah. If Bill Gates walked in right now, what would you show him? What would you be proudest of your work? You'd run, right?
I think his answer was Enterprise Portal, right? Fair point.
Enterprise Portal.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is Enterprise Portal is a big piece of what we're doing that people would be proud of. I mean, the new client, the RFID work, there's a ton of stuff we've shown Bill over the last 6 months, and a plan for the next 6 months. And so Bill, showing him the client, whether it's the new user experience or the portal or any of those pieces, is something he'd be excited about and has gotten excited about in our reviews. So it's good stuff.
What is having a review with Bill like?
Having a review with Bill like? For some people, it's terrifying. For others, it's a good experience, right? Because Bill keeps you on your toes, right? He's always got some new angle of approach to things, right? Bill's going to tell you what's on his mind, and he doesn't edit anything. Like your videotapes don't get edited.
Yep.
Bill's mind doesn't get edited either. He's going to tell you exactly what's on his mind at the time, which is a good thing, right? It gives you another point of view on the problem often, and so Bill reviews are a very worthwhile experience, just in terms of. Nothing else. The prep work you do to put the thought in. We'll
the key is to make sure the reviews happen during M0 and not near code complete.
PM talking. Yeah, PM talking.
That's right.
Yeah.
M0 is explain to our viewers milestones.
The planning part of the process.
Yeah.
Correct.
You want to get Bill's input during planning, not during the final stage of the product where he's going to say, oh well, but why didn't you do it this way?
Yeah.
Right, so getting Bill's input up front is a good thing.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like the viewers to know about what you guys do and what's coming from your team?
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff we're going to do over the next 6 months, and so what I'd say is this is a good introduction to what we do for a living, and then stay tuned because we'll give you updates on specific stuff. Look for product demos and other things later on Channel 9.
Cool.
So.
Yep.
Anything else?
Thank
what
you.
You guys do? So.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll see you on the Copenhagen flight coming over.
In coach.
Yeah. Well, these guys take all the seats up front. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the $250 upgrade. Right?
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.